I'm Patrick Petty, the founder and president.
I'm Zoe Petty, the creative and digital director for House of Culture.
We started in 1991 on Newberry Street, and it was actually men's and women, and one side was House of Culture and the other side was Culture Shock. But it was always culture, and that's what we stand for. That's the main, like the base of our existence is about culture, and that's not one particular culture, but all cultures and stuff. So we try to do clothes and experiences from all over the world and stuff like that. And then we like the fact that we have customers from all over the world, so we can have a real, very international feel. I studied and lived in London for 5 years. When I first got there, coming from Columbus, Ohio, it was a culture shock for me. London is such probably one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world, even more than New York. So, as I was learning about people and the different fashions and stuff like that, that always played in the back of my mind and stuff like that. My main goal was to be a designer buyer and never really had plans to open up a store. But when I got to Boston, when I got the job off to Boston to be a buyer for this company called Austin B, which was the sole distributor of Dr. Martin at the time. As I became a buyer for this company, I said, you know what? I like to do this for myself and do it my way, and just put the whole twist on it from being in London for so long and learning about the different cultures and stuff like that. So that's sort of like what triggered the whole motivation to open up my own store and start my own brand. When we first opened up, it was all about clothes, artwork. We had a DJ booth. We were probably one of the first stores in the country to have a DJ booth in the store. And so we wanted to blend a little bit of everything.
He was my age when he, even probably younger than I was now when he first opened the store. So just a young Black man from Columbus, Ohio, went to college in London, comes to a new city, opens a business a couple years later, and I don't think you ever thought it would be, 35 years later we'd be here.
I believe we were probably the second Black-owned business on Newberry Street. And it was a hair salon there before Olive. They were there probably a couple years before us, but we were the first Black-owned retail business on Newberry Street. And that meant a lot. That was very important to me to just to lay roots on that street, just because to know that we belong.
So in 1991, my father opened the store. We moved here to Columbus Ave in 2005, so we became just a women's clothing boutique. We have a mix of trendy to elevated pieces. We have everything from jeans to gowns for galas. So we try to do a mix of day-to-day pieces and kind of like one-time special occasion event pieces. So I grew up in this location. I remember the Newberry Street location. I was born into this store. My father opened in 91. I was born in 97. When we came here, I was in elementary school. I used to come here every day after school.
You actually contribute to Newberry Street because you're sort of like a baby mannequin.
Yeah.
Sort of like a little fixture there. Well, go ahead. It's just me reminiscing.
It sure is.
All right, go ahead.
I was here every day after school. I was watching the people, I was watching the fashions, I was seeing what changed over time, what stayed consistent, the different styles that people, gravitated towards, and mostly how we treated people and how my father and his team, and whoever's on the team at various times, would treat our customers. And we always tried to treat the customers like we already knew them, like we were already friends, like there was already an established comfort and relationship. And then I went off to college. I was like, all right, bye, Boston. And then when I graduated, I was like, actually, it only makes sense that I joined my father. At that point, we were already 30 years old, I think, by the time, 29 by the time I graduated college. I graduated college in 2020. In 2021, I spent that entire year building our website, updating all of our digital database. And then we launched the website. We did our branding, our bags, our price tags, our shirts and business cards. So now it's officially a family business. 2024, we became a Boston legacy business. The legacy, that's all me.
Succession.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I grew up in the store and I watched my father. I don't like to compliment him to his face, but he did a really great job and he made people really comfortable. And to be in business for 3 decades means that, you're doing something right. And that all comes down to our relationships. So when I decided to join him, it was a lot of me just building on what he's already done. So kind of trying to translate that like comfort and connection that we have in store to our social media and to our website. So like on the website, we have a blog, continuing those human elements that you don't always get in the digital space. And then, like I said, or like my father said, back in 91, we had a DJ booth at the store. A lot of stores, more stores do things like that now, but at the time it wasn't as popular. We try to keep that social element. We had a block party this year. We had 5 Boston Black Girl meetups. We had 3 mixers. So we're always trying to connect the fashion along with the culture, along with just
the whole social element of it.
Yeah, having people feel like they have a comfortable space that they can go to. And yes, they can find an outfit with us, but they can also talk to us, tell us about their breakup, tell us about the good.
We don't want our legacy to just be about, you brought a nice piece from us. We want people to remember us like they helped me. It was retail therapy, but they helped me through some tough times in my life.
This year, we are actually moving. We're going to be in a bigger space come summertime, so we can kind of expand back to some of those original things we did.
We have some options that we're looking at between the Back Bay and the South End.
Yeah.
We pretty much want to stay in those areas. We just want to make sure it's right, and then the spacing is very important. We don't want it just to be about the clothes. We want it to be about the whole comfort and the social aspect of it all.
In the meantime, in our couple months we're brick and mortar hiatus, you can find us online 24/7 at hocboston.com. That is my baby. That is the website that I created. That's where you can shop with us. We're also at TikTok at HOC Boston, Instagram at House of Culture Boston, and Facebook. Just type in House of Culture.